Hello, everybody, and welcome to another episode of An Honest Review. This is going to be a very quick one, which is going to be a little bit surprising given the fact that I have a very good shit to talk about. But anyway, if you're new to the channel, I basically just buy stuff that I like or that I think that's going to be good for the outdoors, for running, for hiking, etc. And I try it out and I give an honest review. I started this channel because most of the times when I was looking for a review, all I could see was an unboxing and people with product that is visibly new, and that to me is not an honest review, right? So full disclosure, I have none of these brands send me product. All this I buy by myself, so there's no bias or anything. And today we're going to be talking about a pair of shoes that I've been hyped to try for a while now. They announced these series of shoes a while back, and they've been out for a little bit now, since very early spring. If you're watching this video, we are right now in May 2021, and we're talking about the North Face Vective series. All right, so what's the deal with Vective? So very sneakily, last year, a lot of North Face athletes were breaking records all over the place, right? And then towards the season end, we were told that it was because they were using this prototype shoe, which is the Flights, right? There's the Vective family has a lot of different models, but the racing shoes are the Flight series, right? And they finally became available for the general public. All right, so that's a bit of the story behind the shoe. There are a number of different versions. For example, there's the Infinite one, which is the Infinite is more targeted towards very long distances. It has a little bit of a different composition in the sole. It's also a little bit tougher when it comes to the uppers. They also have the Enduris. They have all sorts of different shoes. But technically speaking, we're talking about technology that it's gonna help you with the energy expenditure when you walk or run. That's in a nutshell. If we want to get too technical, and we're going to talk about this shoe right now, there's a number of features to this shoe that make it a fast and energy saving shoe. First of all is the rocker sole. Very nice for transition. It also kind of promotes a little bit more of a landing on the forefoot, if you can see right there. They have their surface control in the bottom, right? So we can see, like a lot of different trail shoes, you have the locks on the back that are more for, let's say, controlling your descent, and the locks in the front to help with those climbs, right? We have a matrix upper, which is very resistant, very lightweight. It's supposed to be, it's like a knit fabric, but it definitely has a little bit more structure to it, right? So I can see how these shoes are going to be very durable. And of course, we have the covered toe cap, as this is just a piece of rubber vulcanized into the shoe itself. So it's not really hard in terms of hard enough to, let's say, damage your toes, but hard enough to keep things from hitting your toes when you're like rocks and roots and stuff. It's a good one, right? So anyway, the cool thing about this one in particular is that there is a huge tendency right now. We're in the era of the super shoe, in which Nike has introduced to us a very easily and readily available budget friendly shoe that has a carbon plate in it, right? The purpose of a carbon plate in it is that you have energy return, so your shoe kind of goes back into the same shape. So it's really cool, right? If we to that add a foam that not only is shock absorbent but also has good energy return, then you end up with a very fast shoe that can break the 2-hour marathon, right? So we've seen that in road shoes, right? There's Saucony has that as well. You name it, every other brand has their own road running shoe. What is huge about this is the first one, except for the Mountain Flies from Nike, this is the only other trail shoe that has that technology. What they did though was that traditionally that plate you have sole, then you have another piece of sole that is closer to your food, and then in the middle you have the actual plate. What they did is that they put the plate right under your foot, right? So there's very little material in between you and the carbon plate. Actually, these two pieces are part of the carbon plate that just goes under the food, and it's designed in a way in which you have energy return in every direction. You will have energy return, right? So it's really a cool technology, which is what I really wanted to try it, right? Am I gonna break records in the Ultra Trail Mont Blanc? Probably not. But hey, if I can run 30 miles in the White Mountains being a little less tired, sure, I'll take it, right? So another thing too is their insole. It's also one of the nicest ones that I've seen. I mean, it really, I love this groove because it kind of like really sticks to the bottom of the shoe. The less shift you have inside, it's better for blisters, for energy. So the whole thing, Flight Series, right, is meant to be efficient and fast and cool. All right, so that's the theory behind it. Now, I've tried this in not a lot of runs as I usually do before shooting these videos because I didn't like them. I usually shoot this video with very dirty shoes. If you follow me, you'll know. But in this case, and actually you can see how they're weighted because I just washed them. I didn't like it. First, I'm gonna go with the things that I like. Yes, they're quick. You can feel it. You can feel it right away. It's almost. I've heard something similar about the, for example, the Nike Alpha Flies, in which you feel like you're almost falling forward. So if you are somebody that does not run particularly fast, it may be an uncomfortable feeling for you, right? If you're used to running, let's say, faster times, then it's going to feel great because you're going to feel that forward propulsion right away. The energy return is really good. I really like the energy return. It's pretty good. The ride of the shoe itself, it's pretty comfortable for something that it's very energy, that has a lot of energy return. What I'm trying to say is that usually when you have a lot of cushioning, a lot of plush, you tend to feel that you almost land too much on your feet before you move forward. Not the case here, and still I live in New England, which is all rocks and roots, and you can still see some protection. Granted, I didn't go in super technical terrain with it, but you know, even our backyards have roots and rocks, so protection is there. I also, I don't know how much you can see through the video. Oh yeah, you can. So here, you can see how breathable they are. You can see my fingers on the other side of it. That's also really cool. Very breathable product. I also really like this kind of, I mean, this is something that Salomon has been doing for some years now. But we also see it now here. We have this sock-like upper in the ankle, which kind of helps keep debris from coming in without necessarily having gaiters. Another cool thing about this was the shoelaces. All the shoelaces, instead of having eyelets, go in and out. So they go in and they go out, right? So that way you kind of like, I don't know if this is the goal, but you're pulling more on the whole upper instead of just on one point like with a regular eyelet. I don't know if that is the goal with that. I just thought that from an engineering perspective, it's kind of cool. And I also like the heel. It really hugs your foot. Your foot stays there. It's locked down. It's fantastic. All right, cool. Now, why didn't I like them? Why did I, a couple of runs, I was like, nope. Well, shoes are very particular. Not because something is very technological and super comfy and etc. means that it's going to be the right shoe for you. So don't feel bad if you don't like a pair of $300 shoes, because you may just not like them. Not because something is expensive and it's the top of the line means that it's going to be the best for you, right? I can have the best sports car in the world, but if I don't know how to drive, what difference does it make, right? So shoes are very particular. So never feel bad about not liking a pair of shoes that are expensive. I didn't like them because of the fit. The fit is it's not necessarily narrow, but it feels narrow on me. I used Altra for many years, and I wear a lot of sandals for regular walking and running when it's summer, of course. And my feet are pretty splayed, right? That's it. So it's not that I have white feet, it's just that my toes are very splayed, right? Um, However, Salomon doesn't necessarily has the widest of fits, and I'm 100% okay with Salomon. Um, so if I compare this to a Salomon fit, the room looks similar, but I don't. I found them narrow in this area right here. It's not even about the top, the front of the shoe. It's in this part right here. I found that my pinky toe was constantly doing this on the side. It was constantly hitting this right there. So my pinky toe was always doing this against the shoe. I tried tying it differently. I tried different socks. I tried a lot of different things, and for me, it didn't work. Right? That's that's a personal reason for me not getting the shoe. I wish I could. I mean, I wish they fit, because honestly, the ride on these things is amazing. They're very light. There's a lot of energy return. Like I said, I've fallen in love with the carbon plates since last year. Last year I ran a marathon in a pair of Nikes with carbon plate, and since then I've been a fan. So I was really looking forward for this shoe, but it just didn't work out for me. I have nothing bad to say about the shoe. It's just a fit, right? It's just a fit, and fit is very particular. So if you are used to using a little bit of more narrow shoes, then this is probably going to be very good for you. If you don't have feet that splay this much, if you that's going to be okay for you. So the Vective Flight series, it's definitely a cool product to check out. Definitely check it out. Just consider that, right? It's going to be a little bit of a narrow fit. What else can I tell? Well, also the other thing too is that if you, for whatever reason, have this problem with this shoe, the Infinite, for example, has an extra layer on the upper, so it's going to be a little bit more rigid. So it's probably going to be also a little bit more uncomfortable, right? If you have a similar problem like I do with this. Just to compare, this is a Nike Trail shoe, right? You can see already how it's this one go on the narrow side, right? It's not that much more narrow though. It's not like we're talking Ultra versus a narrow one. It's just enough for me to not feel comfortable, right? This is the amount of room that I'm missing from a regular pair of Nikes, which, let's say Nike, for me, it's a regular average shaped shoe. It's not very narrow, it's not very wide, right? Now, I try to going on that line, and I'm dragging, I was almost done with the video, but I tried a size bigger. I did, but then it ended up being too long. I ended up having too much room here in the front. So, anyway, that is my honest review on the North Face Vective, the Flight series. Cool thing though, very cool thing, North Face knows that this is a new product. So if you buy them, you have 90 days to return them. And their website says reasonably used. So basically, I'm assuming don't return a pair of chewed shoes by your dog and you're gonna be okay. So if you want to try them, buy them. Definitely buy them, because because it's a new shoe, you have the option to return it after 90 days of use, right? Which is exactly what I'm going to do. Bought them, didn't like them, going to return them after a couple of runs. As you can see, they wash really nice. They wash off really nice. Anyway, that is my honest review of the Flight Vective. I hope you find this useful. Leave a comment, like, share. Let me know if you want to see something else. I haven't done backpacks in a while, probably because I'm all set with backpacks, but I'll see what I can get my hands on. And I'll talk to you soon in another honest review.